hey. Wait. There we go. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. YouTube isn't working. So I'm trying to fix it. Crazy the issues have been happening with my YouTube streams lately. Oh, I see what's going on. Oh my god, this is so annoying. I understand what's happening. I'm trying, chat. I'm trying. Well, to be fair, Twitch, you can see me. You have no issues. I'm trying to fix the YouTube right now. Where? There we go. Hey guys, hi YouTube. I fixed it. Oh boy. What's up, guys? Sorry that took me so long. Should the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer? Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a Kingdom Hearts game. I thought we could spend the morning while we wait for calls. This is a debate stream, obviously. I'm a debater. I thought we could watch some videos. You guys know I hate Jubilee, and I don't really fucking care about Jubilee. But my friend Monte was on an episode of Jubilee, and so I wanted to watch her debate some religious nut, because I always love watching my friends do debates. I don't much care for normal Jubilee, because it's just... Jubilee calling Tim Pool a centrist is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just stupid. It's just stupid, and it further goes to show... It further goes to show that Jubilee is not some, we're independent, we are in the middle. No, y'all push right, and you know you push right. I just can't, I don't like this fucking nonsense that we're at. By the way, if you want to call into debate, 219-327-8005. I would say we have screeners on by, but Pillow's missing right now. So it's just me today. You'd be surprised how many people see Tim Pool as a centrist. I'm sure Tim Pool sees himself as a centrist, but that's stupid. That's really dumb, and just furthers me to believe that that Tim Pool I read Pillow's name, but was thinking Tim Pool. It just really makes me feel like Tim Pool is as stupid as everyone makes him out to be. Crazy times. All right, let's pull up these videos. I have the Tim Pool debate in the queue too. I don't know that I'm gonna really watch that one. I don't much care. And it's again, one of my biggest issues with watching other people debate is I'm always critiquing it, like, you should use this argument, you should use this argument. And I don't know if that's fun for you guys, just watching me critique debates versus me actually, you know, watching other stuff. All right, so this video, oh God. Oh shit, where did I put those? Uh-oh. There it is. So if somebody wants to call while we're watching this, the topics will be shown on screen. There they are for the YouTube. We're going to watch this progressive versus conservative Christian. Monty versus Allie Beth. Monty's great. I've met Monty. Monty's awesome. Very knowledgeable on theology. I'm sure this will be a nothing burger of a conversation because they usually are. So that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna put this on double speed. Well, at least 1 point. Well, let's go like 1.4. Because, you know, I can't handle how slow people be talking in these videos. My attention span, see the way my attention span is set up? I got a savings and a checkings attention span. That's a Kevin Hart reference if you gotta get it. All right, progressive versus conservative Christian. Monty's about to dog walk, I feel. W to Monty. Let's check it out. Monty already got me. She already sold me because she's in the personhood argument. You guys know how I feel about personhood. Monty already dunked. Oh, it's muted. My bad. Let me restart it. Because y'all, we gonna get, I'm gonna restart it. We gonna get into this shit. Why won't it let me? All right. Start from the beginning. Progressive versus conservative Christian. Shout out Monty. Monty's awesome. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. This is why I couldn't be on the show. Right out the gate, if I was on the opposite side of it, if I was in Monty's shoes, and I'm sure Monty's going to give a well thought out, comprehensive answer, but an answer that's not going to be, in my opinion, related to the question. So if I was on the opposite side and it was Christians must oppose abortions, I'd be like, sure. I wouldn't deny, or I wouldn't even disagree that a Christian, on the basis of their worldview, probably should deny abortion. But let's debate whose worldview is better, right? So this is a claim is stupid as fuck, just dumb. As a claim on its face, really stupid. I'm just gonna, like, it's so, like, there's nothing to debate in that, like, there's quite literally nothing for me to argue with you on such a false equivalence. I wonder if I can use I should use my fallacy tool for for this. It is unbelievably a false equivalent when pro-life people go, well, see, when we start to determine what gives a person value, then look, that's how we got slavery and that's how we got the Holocaust. No, because this would operate under the predication that most of this idea, right? Like, let's take Hitler, for example. Hitler knew he was lying about the Jews. Hitler knew that everything he said about Jewish people being animals or Jewish people being demon or whatever it is, he knew all of it was bullshit. So it's not that they truly believed these people did not have personhood. Same with most slave owners knew that their slaves were people. They just thought they were people inferior to them. It was a superiority thing. It had nothing to do with them believing that, like, oh, well, black people they're not actually people. Like, it's a stupid argument. And it is a massive false equivalence to say, well, see, and if we do abortion, then all that's gonna happen is, I don't know why I'm giving her like a standard Valley Girl voice. If we do abortion, all that's gonna happen is we're gonna lay it back to slavery. Even though, quote unquote, the thing that's really going to lead to like this idea of enslavement or forced labor is going to be making people, it's gonna be forcing people to go through labor, right? That's the thing that's going to actually be a level of slavery. It's going to be forcing people under legal threat to engage in this thing they don't want to do that, in my opinion, completely violates their right to autonomy. So it's a dumb argument. It's a terrible argument. I need pro-life people to learn what arbitrary means. None of them know. None of them know what arbitrary means. None of them know what arbitrary actually means. None of them. None of them. They use that word. They use arbitrary to mean you're just picking a point. But arbitrary would mean that you're choosing a preference rather than using some reason or logic or like consistency to decide when something is chosen, right? You're doing it in like a reasoned way. So if my stance is that, well, sentience and the ability to have an experience grants us something different than just being alive, then it's not arbitrary to place personhood at sentience. Please learn what arbitrary means. If arbitrary just means you pick, then their choice is also arbitrary. So I need them to learn what these words mean when they're using them.
Justify the murder of someone based on their location. You don't justify the murder of someone based on their dependence upon someone else or their dependence upon a machine. You don't justify the murder of someone because of their age or because of their size. But those are all of the reasons given when it comes to the justification of killing babies inside the womb. I don't.
No. We justify the killing. And she keeps flipping between killing and murder. Anytime a pro-life person uses the phrase murder, they're presupposing most of the argument. It's loaded language because if they say murder, they're going to like intrinsically, inherently, intuitively, when we hear the word murder, we think of guy breaking into your house and stabbing you in your sleep. We think of stuff like this. Abortion is not this, right? Murder is being used to load the language so that people get on their side. And it's just, in my opinion, it's lazy in the middle of the debate, especially when the whole argument should be is this murder? Which I would say it's not, because I would say it's not a person, therefore you can't violate its rights. This is Latin for offspring because everything has a fetus. But I wouldn't call, like, child is exclusively human. You know what I mean? Like, when we use the phrase child, we're primarily always speaking about humans. I would never, if somebody was like, came up to me and they were like, yo, look at my dog's children. And I'm like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. But like, we really reserve phrases like child and children for humans. You know what I mean? But yeah, fetus in Latin simply means offspring. Anything has a fetus. Anything can have a fetus if it has like, if it gives birth, it can have a fetus. If you have a baby, you have a fetus. So I just this a little bit. What was the truth? The fucking Kirk meme. God damn. It's also just an argument. It's a dumb argument to get hung up on, and they only do it because, again, it's coding the language. It is simply emotionally coding the language, because if you can emotionally code the language, then people are just going to intuitively agree with you.
Well, let's go back to some of your claims. Life starting at first breath. I think it's interesting that you take that passage literally. I didn't know that you took the creation.
Woo! 8 down. 8 down. And now, oh, Emily, you're stupid. Oh, or not Emily, Allie. Allie, you're fucking dumb. Allie, you're dumb. Not understanding an internal critique. Why do these people never understand internal critiques? She's literally about to be like, I didn't know you took these accounts literally. No, you're the Christian. She's arguing under your worldview, you moron. Oh no, you're stupid. Oh, damn.
Accounts. So literally, and that you use that to then prescribe what you think about morality and legislation. So that's interesting. Psalm 139 is absolutely poetic, but as you know,
need people to start understanding internal critiques. Understand when your worldview is being argued under the constraints of your worldview.
you're a creative.
I just feel like her claim was stupid. Like, it's not a claim that would have interested me. Like the position, like, again, like Christians should oppose abortion. Sure. Okay. Whoop-de-doo. That doesn't get us to the meat of any argument here. So I want to see.
My first face-off claim is patriarchy, not feminism, is at odds with Christ's ministry and teaching.
Ooh, interesting. I wanna before hearing any arguments, I just want to see what my thought on that is. Patriarchy, not feminism, is at odds with Christ's ministry and teaching. I think on its face, yes, I would probably agree with this. I wouldn't agree with it if you were coming at it from a complete scriptural realm. Like, patriarchy is pretty in line with Old Testament teachings. But is it in line with Christ's ministry? I would say probably not. Also remember the hypocrisy of people like Allie. Allie has a large platform, right? Allie, I'm sure, has shows. Let's see. Yep, a decently large platform. I mean, let's peep her 745K followers on YouTube. She does shows, she speaks, she does all of this. She is in one breath saying women's has to be at home. They have to be, this is their role. But she doesn't follow this. She's not the one at home with her, 4 kids? I think she has 3 kids, and she's going to have a 4th. She's not the one home with them every day. She is working. She is doing the thing. Like if you're going to say that women and men have these very specific roles, and the men's role is out being the provider, and the woman's role is at home nurturing and raising the children, you don't do that because you don't actually believe this. Like, the hypocrisy of this shit is mind-blowing to me. Huh? Oh, ad. We gotta add. Christians cannot affirm. Oh my God, dude. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Such a stupid argument. So dumb. Let's keep going.
portion of the episode.
Morgan, attorney at law.
My next claim is Christians cannot affirm same-sex marriage.
So marriage is defined as a formal union between two people that is a legal contract, a social institution, and a personal commitment. It is not inherently religious. So marriage actually predates Christianity by quite a long ways. It first starts appearing at 4350 BCE, and then it's written into Mesopotamian law around 2350 BCE. The oldest Old Testament writings start to show up between 1400 BCE and 1200 BCE. So it's not inherently religious. So the same way that Christians can understand that they have a personal belief around religion.
Did they
and
know the
marriage,
prompts going into it? Like, I can only assume they had to know the prompts beforehand. How else would otherwise Monty is just this good at this and Allie is just this bad at this?
they can also
It completely, like, it cooked. You're cooked. If your idea is marriage can only be biblical, but marriage predates Christianity, you're cooked. That's your whole argument's gone. It's gone. It's out. It's thrown out the window. I always just go to the Treaty of Tripoli. Right? I think the Treaty of Tripoli is pretty, right? I am thinking of the Treaty of Tripoli, right? Yeah. I think the Treaty of Tripoli is a pretty, like, I don't think there's any getting past it. Like, it's literally, here, I'll pull it up for you guys through the wiki. The Treaty of Tripoli, signed in 1797. It was a treaty between the United States, the Ottoman, Tripolitania, the Regency of Algiers, and the Ottoman Empire. And in Article 11, I think, of it, it says, as the government of the United States of America is not in any sense founded on the Christian religion. I think you're pretty much cooked right there, right? I think that cooks. Any argument you have about any argument you have about this, you're cooked. Like this cooks. This cooks you. There's nothing you can do. We literally signed a document less than, what was this? 1796. So literally 30 years from the founding of our country, we signed a document that was like, we're not Christian nation. Like, we're not. Cooked. Okay. W Monty, cooked. L Alley, you don't know what logic is. Anyway. That was crazy. Yo, lines are open, 219-327-8005. We do have somebody calling in who's already on my shit list. 219-327-8005. If you want to talk about any of the topics, trans men and women are men and women. Trans kids deserve gender-affirming care. Capitalism is unethical. Conservatives have no solutions. And Christianity is false. Shout out to everybody who has subbed today. You'll see your names in the credits. I have it set up now where if you sub, if you send bits, if you follow me over on Twitch, it should now show all of that as put all your names in the credits. So make sure you guys are doing that if you want to pop out and show your support. Also, super chat. Balthazar, thank you for the super chat. Balthazar said, you keep using that word. I do not think you know what it means. Indigo Montoya. I don't know what word you were talking about there. Indigo Montoya is crazy. But yeah, most people use words they don't know. All right, let's take our first call of the day. Oh, also, Cash App and Venmo are there if you want to support the show. Consider it. I have a lot of travel coming up. I'm going to, for those who don't know, I don't even know if he's announced it. I'm going to be visiting Forrest next weekend. He's doing a charity stream. And I will be there live and in person with Forrest, and we'll be playing Dungeons and Dragons. So yeah, that should be fun. And then the week after that, I'm going to the Socialism Conference. So low key, if you guys want to support the show, Cash App and Venmo, super chats, all those ways. It goes a long way to keeping the show running. It also goes to keeping the screeners paid, keeping the call lines open. You know, support the show. All right, let's take a call. Coming up to stream is Austin calling from Georgia to talk about topic 4, conservatives having no solutions. Don't know what Austin wants to talk about because he refused to give a summary to the call-in screener. Austin, I'm just wondering why you refused to give a summary to the call-in screener about what you actually wanted to talk about.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me that I'll have to predispose my argument so that you would have time to make way and plan your argument in courting. So with that being said, it just makes
Pause. Sorry, Austin, I have to mute you real quick. You think I'm planning my arguments? Do you think in between me either talking to somebody else or me talking to chat that I'm pre-planning arguments? Or could it be the case, just hear me out here, could it be the case that there are multiple people who call in? I like to gauge whether I want to actually engage in the conversation beforehand. Could that potentially be the case, Austin? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, so again, as I was saying before, you so rudely muted and
I'm just wondering if that could potentially be the case.
It wouldn't necessarily have to be you that would be doing the planning of the argument, but it would definitely.
Who else would plan the argument?
The people in the background, right?
What? Wait,
So
hold on.
Why are you not
Hold on.
engaging in the argument? Why are you so stuck on-
There has been no
argument.
There's been no argument proposed for me to engage in yet. Are you thinking that my call-in screeners are taking the argument, like taking your initial whatever, and then using it to come up with like a script for me?
Why are you running away from the argument proposed and trying?
There's been no argument. There's been no argument proposed yet. There's been no argument proposed yet. There's been no argument.
Yeah, perfect. So you know what I'm here to
There's
debate
been
about?
no, I actually don't. Because you didn't give. Because you
three and
didn't
topic
give.
4.
I don't know what. Austin, do you think this is your show? Just real quick. Just trying to make sense of
So,
something.
I mean, obviously,
Do you think this is your show? Austin, do you think this is your show? Yes or no? Austin, do you think this is your show? Yes or no?
No, I would never be a communist.
So I'm going to give you one chance here. This is your only chance here. If you continue to either A, talk over me, or B, try to run the show like it's yours, I will just move on. This is your warning here. Okay, bye.
Why don't you
see you? Goodbye then. Okay. I'll listen. Sure thing. I gave you a chance. See ya. Goodbye. I literally gave you the chance. I said, if you continue to do this, I'll move on. And you said, move on. Bye. I don't need to talk to people who are 2 years old. I hear enough babbling in my day. I don't need it from the people who are calling in. So long, Austin. Maybe next time you won't be a child. I doubt it. Making unsubstantiated claims just to fucking weasel out of just saying what the reason you're calling in for, because we have a system here. Like, what? I don't know, Jovan. Do you really think it's fair for you to know what you're talking about and be able to contend with callers' arguments? Apparently not. Apparently, I shouldn't know what people are calling into my show about beforehand. It's so stupid. But again, listen, guys, I don't mind people calling in and challenging the shit that I'm saying. I do mind when you think it's your show. And again, I gave Austin a chance. I said, if you continue to do this, I'll move on. And he said, well, then move on then. Okay. Like, what? Like, lose the ego. Lose the ego when you call into me. It really ain't helping nothing. Drop the ego, dog. Who's your ghost debater? Honestly, ask the mods. I actually actively ignore the mods when they try to like chime in with stuff mid-conversation because they know I don't like it. Yes, because you guys know I don't like backseat debating. I got it. Don't worry. But again, like, guys, and you can call in. This is open to everybody. If you call in and you're like, hey, I want the debate timer, I'll turn the timer on, right? We'll each get a specific amount of time. My issue is trying to run the show. That's never going to work. Okay? If I'm asking you about something, you either answer these questions so we can get further in the conversation, or you don't. And if you don't, I'm just going to move on. Austin couldn't handle it. Like, he physically couldn't handle being asked questions. And this is part of why, like, when I look at like TikTok debate spaces, this is part of what annoys the shit out of me, because this is what people do. You guys who do debate lives, first of all, I wish you would stop. But you guys who do debate lives need to stop letting people who are joining your live bully you into running your live a different way. He's in chat. Of course he is. Who cares? If he wants to call back, he can, but he has to understand it's not his show. He gets the privilege to speak on my show. I do not have a privilege talking to you. Handle name here somehow does not know what table 34 is. I'm calling it right now. Quite literally. Doesn't know what it is. Damn, I actually might get bingo off that one caller. I mean, Austin did say Jovan should move on, and he did. He literally said, so drop me. Okay. He openly admitted he would not follow the rules. So therefore, why would I keep him on? Imagine someone came into you, imagine you had a store and you said, hey, in order to shop in my store, I need people to wear shoes. Like, I don't want your bare feet on my ground. And I'm like, if you come in with bare feet, I'm gonna kick you out. And someone's like, well, then you're gonna have to kick me out because I'm coming in. Nope. But if anybody wants to call in and actually follow the rules, yo, gang, gang. Like, I'm gonna let somebody just overtalk me on my show? Hilarious. Woke non-binary frat boy, thank you for the super chat. Can you tell us about your D&D character or it's a surprise? It's a surprise. It's a surprise. Oh, good point, Amadeus. If someone's argument relies on catching the person off guard, because if they have any amount of time to think about it, that is bad for your argument, then the argument is already bad. You literally just described how fucking Andrew Wilson debates. Screeners, if somebody does want to, you could start asking them if they want the 10-minute debate clock during screening calls. I don't know that I would mind that. There's no way for me to give them a tool to stop and start the timer, but. But they just need to know that if they do the 10-minute one, at the end of that 10 minutes, they're automatically getting booted. Like it's just an automatic boot. Have you heard about the Dean Withers allegations? Yeah, what about them? Bro, we stopped watching the Candace Wilson or Candace Owens Andrew Wilson debate way too soon because the meat of it came at the end. The shit I wanted from it happened at the end of it when we had already stopped watching. Basically, Candace accused Andrew Wilson of actually knowing nothing about the case. Like, she accused him of not even being able to name one of the charges. He was like, of course I can name the charges. She proved that he couldn't. And then he was like, well, can you? And she named all 7 of them. And then he accused her of cheating, which she also proved not to be. Honestly feel bad for Dean. I mean, I have thoughts I won't say publicly. Have you been on Jubilee? Oh, God, no. Would I? Maybe I would be the person in the middle of the circle. Or do one of like the one-on-ones, but like. Yeah, I'll feel bad for Tashika too. Not saying what goes around comes around, but. Yeah, Dean's a liberal. I don't fuck with liberals. Parker also liberal? Yeah. Bro, they're all liberals. Jovan is my favorite liberal. Is crazy, Bingle. Fucking constant problem child. Fucking Bingle. Do you hate Destiny? I don't care about Destiny. Like, I don't like any white man who uses the N-word, whether tactical or not. Full stop. I don't know shit about any of the sex stuff with him because I don't watch any of it. You say you don't do common sense in arguments, but then what common sense law for speech can you explain? It's two different things. Common sense is just a shorthand for like publicly agreed upon like laws. Can't believe Jovan used to think DID was fake. Let me rephrase. Hold on. It's not that I thought DID was fake. It's that I thought most of the people online who claimed to have it were lying. And then I learned what the actual rate of diagnosis was. And that changed my mind on that. Billy Sipes, thank you for the Venmo, Billy. What you say? Also, Billy, how are you? You did not tell me how you were after yesterday. Jesus Christ. Let me read this. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't. Oh, here it is. Did you see the reason the USS Abraham Lincoln wasn't resupplied was because Iran destroyed our main supply depot and road, and we literally don't have capacity to supply. Glad we completely destroyed Iran's military 20 times now, though. Did you see that dude on Fox News who was like, fuck those service members who don't have toilet paper? Holy shit, dude, I saved it. Wait. This shit was a batshit crazy, bro. Hold on. I saved it on TikTok. I actually made sure to save something for once. No, I can't find it. Where did it go? Oh, fuck me. No. Well, I thought I saved it. Oh, here it is. Wait, I found it.
You know what I ate in Afghanistan?
Found it. Who is this? Joey Jones? Who the fuck is Joey Jones? Okay, I found it, chat. I found it. Hold on. Look at this fucking absolute insane person.
You know what I ate in Afghanistan for 6 months on a burner with using a little burner? I ate ramen noodles. I had to pull the seasoning packet out because I had too much sodium in it, and I put tuna packets in it. That's what I ate. And you know what? I was happy to have it because the alternative was an MRE or something cooked by the Afghan guy who was too stupid to be given a gun, and they let him be the cook. And so if I wanted something spicy, test my fate a little bit, I'd go get a bowl of whatever he made in that giant, urn thing that he had. I mean, how weak are you?
My stomach couldn't handle other cultures' food, so I ate ramen noodle packets for 6 months, is what you're telling me.
On TV, complaining about tuna and noodles? I'm sorry. You volunteered to serve your country. You can come back, get out of the military, and do like all of these Democrat veterans and complain about it and make commercials and be a sellout if you want to and come up with a new way of doing things. The last Democrat president that I remember that was deploying troops, Barack Obama, had the Army going to Iraq on patrol bases for 15 months at a time, eating MREs. I'm sorry, but you're a sitting duck on a patrol base in Iraq, in Afghanistan, a heck of a lot more than you are on a fortified Navy ship sitting in the water. You might have got bored, and I'm sorry. We did have more fun getting in firefights, I'll say that. But to sit there and say that...
Y'all know this motherfucker lost his legs? He's sitting here going, we had more fun. He doesn't have legs. You lost your legs in the fucking military. Are you fucking high, bro? What? Fucking batshit insane, dude. Absolutely batshit. All of you guys using the same iteration of like 2 jokes are wild. Have we had any calls? Nope. But we were watching Jubilee for like an hour and a half. Yo, chat, is it selling out to want our military service people to like be able to have nutritious food? This is your job at shitty. It's actually pretty great. Love my job, bro. Y'all better be ready for the amount of content we're gonna be pumping out from the socialism conference. I'm gonna be pumping out so much fucking content for y'all. Oh yeah, I got a call from one person who thought he was in charge and then said to boot him, so I booted him. But if anybody else wants to tell me why conservatives have no solutions to any of the world's problems, 219-327-8005. I'll also be live with Jimmy for the podcast. That's supposed to be, I think, at 5 Eastern. And then I have to be on with Ari tonight at 9:30. That's no knock against Ari. It's just going live at 9:30 is hell on earth. Socialism conference is September, first weekend of September. I'll be there. Can you guys just stop engaging with the trolls in chat? Like, it would just be so much easier. Just don't engage with them. I don't understand you guys' need to engage the trolls. Did you rearrange your stuff in the bag? No? But it's so fun. I don't really think it's that fun. Oh, I'm no troll. You just can't mute this. Wanna bet? Look at that. I just muted you. Look how that worked. Stupid as shit. People who don't understand how live chats work are kind of dumb. Yo, make sure you guys are liking the live. We only have 300 likes in here. Come on. Where would you leftist tyrants be without mute? Probably deep inside of your mom, bro. I'm just gonna be so honest with you. If I didn't have to spend my day doing this, I would just be balls deep in your mother. On God. Funny, he hates capitalism, but here he is doing capitalism. Curiouser and curiouser. My God, imagine having an actual argument. That'd be great. How do I get access to the Discord? You just gotta be a Twitch sub or a YouTube member and then just link your Discord account to YouTube or Twitch, and then you'll automatically get access once you join the Discord. You exist within a system, but you criticize said system. Curiouser and curiouser. Hey, just real quick, does this person think capitalism is just when money? The answer is yes. This person doesn't know what capitalism is, so he thinks capitalism is just when money. No, communism is when you all have to share one iPhone. It's the communal iPhone. Is the Minecraft server still up? Ask Pillow. Have we figured out what happened to Pillow? Is he alive? We got a call screening at the moment. Actually, Pillow, somebody asked if the Minecraft server works for the Xbox. Does it? Somebody wants to join the server. I think I saw that in the Discord the other day. Sometimes I can still hear his voice. I thought we did have it working for both. Thoughts on Kingdom Hearts 4? Fucking hits. I don't know. The community says it's my turn on the iPhone. Oh, interesting. Are we in office hours? No. No. I'm excited for Kingdom Hearts, but you know, I just like to wait till the games are out. True. R.I.P. Hayden Panettiere. That's a sad one. If Jovan is communist, why lights? Performative, bro. How would debates work under communism, though? What is about Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3 failed on and should be considered in Kingdom Hearts 4? I don't think Kingdom Hearts. The only thing I would change about Kingdom Hearts 3 is to have less floaty combat, but only like take it down like 10%. You said about Vision Quest? No, but the new Doomsday shit got me fucking bricked up, bro. Ooh, this should be fun. The next caller wants to use the timer, so let's get our timer ready to go. Make sure this is all ready to go. Yep. Have it start listening. Put it on the screen. Cool. All right, we'll see how this goes. I've not used it. This will be my first time using the timer. Well, for someone that's not fucking bad, you know. All right, coming up to stream is Brian. Brian's calling from Indiana to talk about topic number 4, that they believe that the conservatives have always fixed America's problems. So let's talk about it. Brian, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
47.
And your pronouns?
Let's go by Brian.
It's not. I didn't ask what you go by. I asked for your pronouns.
Mister.
I'm sorry?
I don't do all that, man. Boy,
It's a rule of the show.
Okay.
So
The
what are your
guy.
pronouns? The guy is not pronouns in the English language. Unless you're part of the LGBTQ and you use neopronouns. Which, you know, you go, girl.
Nope.
No? Okay, well then what are your pronouns?
TB.
He what?
TB.
He be? Oh, he. Got it. There we go.
And
All
B.
right. B is not a pronoun. Unless you use neopronouns, in which case you go, girl. Thanks for coming out the closet. Great. Brian, I'm going to start the clock.
Hold on. Wouldn't that be an insult to LGBTQ and you promote them if you were trying to insult somebody with that?
What
And
insult?
that's the way that worked back in the school days.
What insult? I'm just saying you would be, if you use neopronouns, you're most likely part of the LGBTQ. And then I said, you go, girl, for coming out of the closet. Where's the insult?
Because if I wasn't one and you was calling me one, you'd be insulting them, wouldn't you?
How would that be an insult?
I just tells me how this world's changed. But anyways,
Do you think that it's insulting to be a member of the LGBTQ? IA
that's
plus?
something I go for.
Yeah, but is it insulting to be one? Like, is that a bad thing?
Like I said, it ain't my forte.
Okay.
I'm not going to go into other people's lives. That's their lives.
Okay, whatever. Brian, timer starts now. At the end of the 10 minutes, it will automatically kick you from the stream. I believe conservatives have no... I believe conservatives have no solutions to our... let me explain to you how the timer works. The timer will click down when either of us are talking. So if I'm talking, I lose my 10 minutes. If you're talking, you lose your 10 minutes. Okay?
Okay.
Great. I believe conservatives have no solutions. Do you disagree? And if so, why?
I disagree with what you're saying because the fact is that they've actually came through and actually picked up what Biden destroyed. So when you come back with bringing the Keystone pipelines back in to get people back their jobs, and you bring the fuel back to American dependency other than depending on foreign sea.
How many jobs has Donald Trump brought back in his second term? Like, what is his overall job average per month?
Like a lot. I mean, you got Amazon building up new facility. You got Eli Lilly building up big giant facilities under Donald Trump. Man, there's multiple of them. Have you not see these big giant plants coming around? Google taking advantage of it.
Do you happen to have an actual number or no?
Don't need a number. You can just see the big old giant facilities getting built. So I'm sure they're not going to stand there and collect dust.
Why wouldn't I need the numbers? If I'm going to make a claim that jobs were brought back, wouldn't
Well, how
I
about
need
this?
the numbers?
I'll call you
for
back
that?
when Eli Lilly finally gets done building that big whole entire fortress. Okay? When they get done hiring, I'll go up there to HR and ask them, how many people did you hire?
What?
And then I'll ask him if Trump liked it, okay?
You know, last month
They
in
don't start
July,
companies, dude.
do you know last month in July, Trump lost jobs, right? He lost 23,000 jobs.
That's weird because I hadn't heard anything getting shut down. Trucking industry is thriving off Trump. Let's see what else. Food industry.
All
What
industries
have
that
they
are
done
facing
under Biden?
historic, you just named 2 industries that are facing historic bankruptcies right now.
Who's filing bankruptcy? Because I hadn't seen them file bankruptcy other than the ones that actually got collapsed because of the tariffs.
Oh, beautiful. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Specifically,
I
we
mean,
can
ask
look
your
at.
question is,
Oh, you don't want me to
has
let you know.
tariffs ever been here
Okay.
before?
Have tariffs been here before? Yes.
Yes. And what did tariffs do when they were here the first time?
Well, tariffs. What do you mean here the first time? We've had tariffs for years.
This ain't the first time, and Trump ain't the first one to ever bring tariffs to America. They were here way before. And what were they doing the first time they were here?
Brian, Trump instituted large-scale, broad
That's
tariffs,
not what I
not
asked you.
targeted tariffs. Yes, but your question is flawed because it lacks context.
No, because actually that's what he's doing again. So he's just doing it on a larger scale because we have more money now than compared to the back in them days. So he's doing a bigger France. And then also he's bullying China because they took majority of our
we're
jobs
in
out
a
of America.
larger deficit. How do we have more money if we're in a larger deficit?
I'm sure we're not into what you think we are in, but you
What
go with
you-
it. But like I said,
what
what
do you
was the
think the-
tariffs here the first
Wait,
time?
wait. What do you think
Because
the deficit
in order
is
to
right
answer
now?
the first one, you got to be able to answer the second one. What was the tariffs here the first time for?
Okay, can you ask the question more narrowly? That's a broad question. I don't know how you expect me to answer it. It depends
When
on
the
what
tariffs
tariff
were
you're
compared to other
what
countries
tariff,
for trade.
Brian? What tariff?
So back in the 1900s, or the
What
1800s, late
tariffs?
1800s, 1900s,
Holy
tariffs
shit.
to other countries for trade.
Which
What
one
was the money used for when they
specifically?
collected from foreign countries?
Which one specifically?
Generally, there was a general
Holy shit,
idea why
dude.
tariffs are here for.
You either have a targeted tariff or you have a broad tariff. We typically don't do broad tariffs because they do nothing but harm typically the consumer.
So in the
Targeted
late 1800s,
tariffs. Holy shit. Why are we talking about the late
and they weren't
1800s?
targeted
Why are we talking about the late 1800s? Why aren't we talking about
because they're coming back
why aren't
into
we
the
talking
future,
about
right?
the impact of
It's the
Trump's
same
tariffs right
concept.
now?
It's the same concept with every single thing that's happening to America and other countries is that things repeat themselves because nobody ever learns from it the first time. The first time tariffs are here, so I'll answer the question for you because it's
Holy
rocket
shit.
science, you hadn't done your homework, is because what it was doing is any trades or anything that was done from foreign countries, that money was used to build our roads, our houses, everything like that. That's what tariffs were used, so we weren't taxed back in them days.
We are taxed.
So today's tariffs the same way because he said it too. Even old Trump said it. I'm coming to bring tariffs here and get rid of taxes.
How come when we look at the actual impact of tariffs, Trump's tariffs cost on average the American household an extra $1,000?
Because you're at the beginning part of it.
We're at the beginning part of it.
Yeah, you think you can do tariffs overnight?
It's been 2 years.
2 years. Yeah, you think that something's going to actually be that fast? It takes a long time to get something like the other countries to be online.
When does the beginning part end?
Who knows?
So
I can tell you exactly when.
We just suffer.
I tell you then when you know.
With a who knows. We suffer until who knows when.
I
everything
know
gets more
exactly
expensive and we are charged more until who knows.
No, exactly. I'll tell you exactly when.
When will the burden of the tariff
1964,
go away?
1964, old Reagan told you about the people behind closed doors. So when they expose themselves and actually expose what they were planning on to do for America, you're going to find out.
Brian,
if you think that President of the United States of America runs this country, then you're lost.
Brian, I'm going to ask the question again. When will the American people stop feeling the negative effects of the tariffs?
It won't.
So
until all currency's gone and you're to a chip.
So Trump's tariffs place an undue burden on the American citizen and the American
Actually,
household.
no. Trump's tariff is basically pushing other countries away and making them forced to actually pay for us, or they're going to be bye-bye.
Which
And if
country
you
is,
listen to
which country is
China,
paid? Which country is paid
China,
the wait, Brian, who
what's China
pays,
do?
Brian, who pays the tariffs?
That's what I'm saying. The other countries.
No.
Mexico's paying for it.
No.
Canada's paying for it.
No.
So, where's you lost?
No, they don't. That's
Yeah,
not
they
how
do.
tariffs work. Brian, are tariffs an import or an export tax?
In export and import. That's what he's doing.
They're an import tax. When we place tariffs on a country, they're an import tax.
Mm-hmm.
And who pays that tax? Is it the importer or the exporter?
Well, for Mexico, it's the Mexican president, wasn't it?
Nope.
And she actually folded, didn't she?
Nope.
But she stood her ground and then failed.
Nope.
Same as Trudeau.
Brian, these are just things that are untrue.
Really?
The tariff is paid by the person importing the product. So when there is a tariff on a product and you are a business in America buying that product from overseas, you pay the tariff, not the country selling it to you. You still buy their product at whatever they're charging, then the United States charges you a tax on top of that.
And what was the solution if you didn't want to pay that?
You didn't get your product.
No. That's not what his solution was. What was the solution when he said, don't do that?
That's the only solution. If you don't
Actually,
pay
it was not the only solution.
Holy shit.
It was not the only solution.
The tariffs that were deemed unconstitutional that he had to walk back, and now we owe money and are going to be paying more in tax money
the
to
ones
these
he
businesses that are getting a tariff refund.
The ones he extremely charged got backed off, but the other ones didn't. And the other ones were smarter than the other average payer. They actually bring
tariffs
their businesses to America.
Tax.
So they don't reward tariffs because they're built in America. Yeah, I do.
No, you
and
don't.
I told you. He simply told you, if you don't want to pay tariffs, then bring your business to America.
We are losing manufacturing jobs.
Really? Where?
Yes.
Oh, you run down cities, but they're not here in Indiana. Apparently, you never driven through Indiana. Apparently, you never driven through Indiana. Dude, you have not driven through Indiana.
This idea, we have lost, by the way, since 2025, we've lost 62,000 manufacturing jobs.
Man,
under Donald Trump.
That's crazy because I hadn't seen it.
I don't care what you have or have not seen. These are numbers that Trump's own Bureau of Labor is
putting out.
No, I'm just saying
is that who in the world in the city would actually build these big giant warehouses that are filled with people and just say they're just empty? The people are just parking their cars there.
Brian, you're not saying anything that's factually
accurate. How far-fetched that is?
Do you recognize
Indiana is one of the biggest growing cities right now in manufacturing. And you're telling me they're out?
I need to know what we're doing right now because this is just useless.
What I'm saying is that you're saying they're failed policies, but they're actually working. They're just not working in your city, probably because all the businesses are moving to another
state. Did we not lose manufacturing jobs?
Did you lose them in a Democrat state? Probably yes.
We lost them in the country, Brian.
No.
Yo? This is nationwide numbers?
Well, I'm actually working one that's actually on the international grounds, and they ain't planning on going anywhere. Crazy stuff, and they're a foreign country.
Brian, you're just
so I don't believe your story, dude.
I don't treat you
and they still make cars in America.
Treat you seriously. Brian, I'm going to let you know something right now. You are an unserious person.
Because they're a fact.
You're an unserious person.
Really?
Yes,
because you haven't proved anything.
I provided you direct Bureau of Labor statistic numbers. What do you
Bureau of Labor statistics, really? They
yeah,
say
what do you
statistics or do you say percentage?
Statistics.
Show me percentages.
Is a
0.5%. It's fraud.
It's a 0.5% loss of manufacturing jobs since July since
who,
January of 2025.
By Democrat or liberal view, or is it actually from a real?
Are you fucking dumb, Brian? Brian, are you stupid? Are you genuinely this stupid? This is national.
I listen to liberals and COVID-19, so yeah, I don't believe you guys.
Shut the fuck up. This is federal numbers. You're stupid. You're just dumb. You are just an absolute ignoramus.
Says you?
Says the fact that you don't know what national numbers are.
Says you?
All right, goodbye, Brian.
Bye-bye.
Dumb fucking people, bro. dumb as fuck, dude. Anyway, bro, make sure you guys fucking keep all your teeth. Let's bring up the next person, I guess, who also wants to use the debate clock. Fucking John from Arizona. You guys remember John? All right, coming up to stream is John from Arizona. Wants to talk about topic 4. Who's going to tell me conservatives have solutions? Let's find out. John, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
40, he, him, I guess. Pronoun thing's kind of fucking weird to me. But...
You guess? You don't know what your pronouns are?
Well, dude, like, we never fucking used to talk this way until about, I don't know, 5 years ago. It's fucking weird.
We never used to talk on the internet until the internet was invented. Does that mean we shouldn't? We didn't used to talk on. We didn't used to talk on cell phones until cell phones were invented. Should we get rid of cell phones?
Can't you tell that I'm a man just by talking to me?
No, I can't tell you're a man because of how much you're whining. It sounds pretty womanly to me.
Well, you see, when the
shout out to all my women watchers.
Doctor said it's a boy. It's very simple. I was born with a Johnson. But you fucking people on the left are...
The doctor also said you had a fucking attention deficit disorder, but that hasn't clearly stopped you.
No, I don't have ADD.
Shout out to all my ADD watchers.
ADD? Yeah, look, man, this is all my personal opinion. You know, I resent the political left and the right. We have all kinds of solutions.
Sorry, hold on. I have to start the clock. Clock. So you know how this works because you said to the screener you wanted to have the 10-minute timer. How this works is you have 10 minutes to make your case. I have 10 minutes to refute you. When every one of us talks, the timer counts down. If you can survive till the end of the 10 minutes, it will auto boot you at the end of your 10. Okay?
Yeah, all right. I mean, I guess we can try that. That's fine.
Well, that's what you said. You said the screener put down that you said you wanted to do it.
Fine.
Great. All right. John, can you tell me what solutions conservatives have to fixing the problems with America that plague the average U.S. citizen?
Yeah, this is all my personal opinion. For example, about a year and a half ago in L.A., we saw that there were massive wildfires. And, you know, something conservatives would do would be actually to have water, to have the hydrants, you know, working and operational to combat the wildfires, which the left and the Democrats obviously couldn't do because they were worried about woke DEI bullshit. And the water reservoirs were empty, like in the Pacific Palisades, for example. So there are all these. It's just a showing of incompetence. Another example would be the left wants open borders.
I'm sorry. There was no issue with lack of water.
Yes, there was.
No, there was an issue with lack of water pressure during the fires. Because of the fires, some hydrants went dry due to the lack of water pressure. It wasn't because the hydrants were not working or that there was no water. The water demand became much higher because hundreds of pumps were being used at the same time.
Okay, but you understand that the reservoir, I think it was the Pacific Palisades reservoir, was empty. It was non-operational for about 7 months. You're aware of that, aren't you?
It was empty?
Yeah, it was not operational.
For how long did you say?
I think about 7 months. I can look it up but I think that's right. I'm just trying to remember, but it was something like that, yeah.
Okay, why do you think it was empty?
I don't know. It's some sort of maintenance issue, I guess.
And how is this a Democrat problem?
Well, the point is they were more concerned about having DEI in the fire department than actually having the resources like adequate water and operational
Does the
hydrants.
fire department control the reservoir?
I'd have to look this up for you, man.
Well, the answer is no. It would be controlled by the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, not the fire department. Are these two? Wait, are these two agencies? Do these two agencies control one another?
They should work together.
I didn't ask if they work together. I said, do they control one another? Does the fire department have authority over the LADWP, or vice versa?
Probably not. I would imagine.
So how would DEI policies in the fire department affect how the LADWP has to handle water?
Man, the DEI was the concern of not just the fire department, but all of governments.
Why did the LADWP drain the Palisades? They did it for a specific reason.
Like I said, man, the point was that it was empty.
Well, yeah, but why?
I don't remember the exact reason. They were doing maintenance, I think.
Yes, there was a tear. There was a tear in its cover, and they had to drain it to try to fix the tear. But the LADWP's proposal for it was initially rejected. So they had to go in, refill the proposal, redo all this to get a thing. Do you think that they thought hey, during this, we're going to get hit with wildfires while we try to fix this issue?
Well, I think they were, it's pretty well known that they have that problem out there. It's not an unreasonable.
So they shouldn't have fixed anything?
Dude, you're missing the bottom
specifics
line.
On a claim that you made? Yes, we are going into specifics on a claim that you made.
No. They did not have the fucking water and the resources and
how do you
equipment.
Substantiate that that's a Democrat fault? How do you substantiate that that's the fault of the left?
Because they were in charge of it. They were in charge of LA.
So when Texas failed, because they didn't have the infrastructure to handle an ice storm, is that a Republican issue?
Dude, you're dodging here, man.
I'm dodging. You just said they were in charge, therefore it's their fault when there's an infrastructure issue. So are the Republicans to blame when Texas got an ice storm hit and all their shit fucked up? Is Texas Republicans like Ted Cruz specifically to blame for this?
No, I think these are different circumstances.
What makes it different?
Is that if there was adequate water and if there was operational fire hydrants, that the wildfires would not have been nearly as bad.
Why was there not adequate water
in LA? Huh?
Why was there not adequate water?
Well, we talked about the reservoir. There was also too about I think it was I don't know if Newsom was directly responsible for this, but they diverted water from the north to have it empty into the ocean to protect some fish or some shit. That was part of it.
Hey, real quick. The LADWP, them draining to fix the tear. Why didn't they just leave the tear? What was the reason they didn't do that?
Dude, it doesn't. You're getting
no.
Fucking, you're going.
I'm going into detail about something you brought up.
The point is that they did not have adequate water to fight a fucking fire.
Why didn't they have adequate water, John?
Because they were worried about DEI bullshit. That's why. And I told you.
What? John, okay, substantiate this. Substantiate this. Show me that instead of putting resources to the water, they put it to DEI.
Yeah, there was a commercial of that fucking I don't know who it was, some leadership talking about how fucking it was men's fault if they were fucking caught in a fire, dude. This is this DEI.
John, you just dodged the question. Should I re-ask it? Did you just not hear it? I said, give me specifics. Show me how there were funds that were appropriated away from the fire department and to DEI practices.
Dude, you're missing the point. Let me just.
No, your claim, John, and I know it because I wrote it down, was that the fire department had less money because they were focused on DEI, and that they should have had all this stuff taken care of, but they were focused on DEI. So that fucked them over. So show me where there were funds that were appropriated towards the fire department that were then taken and reappropriated towards DEI.
Okay, it's going to take me a couple minutes to look this up.
Can't wait.
Okay, here's a New York Post article. LAFD's $300,000 per year diversity chief sparks fury for defending DEI by blaming the victim. He got himself in the wrong place.
That did not answer my question, which
Is
was
a-
show
as
me
Los
where there were
Angeles
funds that were
Did you hear the
reappropriated
fucking-
away from the fire department towards DEI. That doesn't tell me anything about a reappropriation of funds.
All right, I'll try and find another article here. Hang on. But and I'm looking this up, but do you think that, just answer me this question while I'm looking this up, do you believe that they did a good job handling those wildfires?
I don't move off of claims. So until you've
No,
either
just answer. It's a
conceded,
very simple yes or no question.
I don't move off from claims. So until you've either conceded that you were wrong on this claim or provide evidence for this claim, I will not be moving to anything else.
Yeah, you won't answer because you're fucking afraid to. But here's the Dallas Express, okay?
Can't wait.
California wildfires reveal troubling DEI funding priorities. As wildfires continue to devastate California, questions are arising about the priorities of Los Angeles leaders. Funding for the fire department has been cut by millions of dollars, while money has been allocated to a variety of diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Well, there's your fucking answer, man.
I'm sorry. All you did was restate the claim.
I know you're sorry.
That was just a restation of the claim. That wasn't evidence.
Okay, I'll keep reading.
Show me where the actual reappropriation was. All you did is restate it.
Fueled by fierce winds, the ongoing wildfires have devastated nearly 10,000 homes and businesses and claimed at least 24 lives. The crisis has escalated to a national emergency, with Texas sending help and resources to assist in the firefighting efforts, as reported by the Dallas Express. As the fires raged, many Los Angeles residents wondered why vital services were left underfunded. Just months before the disaster, Los Angeles officials cut the Los Angeles Fire Department's budget by a staggering $17.6 million, even as wildfires were becoming an increasingly common threat. A recent Fox News interview of the LA County budget revealed that millions of taxpayer dollars were directed toward projects unrelated to fire safety or emergency responses. Programs such as the Gay Men's Chorus of Los Angeles, which received $14,010, and the Midnight Stroll Transgender Cafe Initiative, which provides housing for homeless transgender
None of this shows me that the funds were reappropriated.
Okay, dude, I've given it to you. I just, now you need to answer my question. Do you think that fucking,
you need to listen. You need to listen right now. You need to listen right now. I need you to stop talking. What you showed me, right, is an article that claims that the LAFD,
you're a lying dipshit.
I don't know why you think you talking right now is going to get you anywhere. The LAFD cut what you're, the reason you don't want me to answer this is because you know that you're sitting on nothing. So that's why you don't want me to answer your answer to the source you just claimed, because you're sitting on nothing. You're quite literally sitting on nothing. So again, your claim here is, well, the fire department's budget was cut, and that's why, even though the budget was higher that year than it was the year before, there were no budget cuts. They actually had a bigger budget. So your article is outwardly lying. They had a budget in 2023 to 2024 of $837 million, and they had a budget in 2024 to 2025 of $895 million. Their budget was increased. What it does, the article isn't even talking about two different places, which is LA County and LA City. It gets those completely mixed up because the LAFD, the Los Angeles Fire Department, is funded by the city of Los Angeles. The county budget, which your article is talking about, is different. So the Gay Men's Chorus, the LGBT Heritage Month that it talks about, the Juneteenth celebration, the syringe exchange, those were for part of the county budget, not the city fire budget. You quite literally don't know what you're talking about. And because you can't read, you misread an article that itself was lying to you. And that's embarrassing.
Jovan, what did I say? I said that they were more concerned about DEI woke bullshit than fighting fires, and that's exactly what I said.
The county doesn't fund the fire department.
Okay,
the
man.
city does. John, yes or no? Who funds the fire department? Who funds the LAFD? Is it the city of Los Angeles or is it the Los Angeles County?
I don't know.
It's the city.
Okay.
You don't know what you're talking about. So maybe talk about something you do know what you're talking about instead, because it wasn't this.
Do you think they did a good job, Jovan, with the fires? Just answer. It's a very simple yes or no question, man. Just answer it for me.
I think they did the best job that they could.
Best job that they could.
Wildfires are uncontrollable and unpredictable. I think they did the best job that they could.
Okay. So you don't think they could have done a better job?
You want me to repeat myself? Did you not hear me the first time?
It sounds like that's what you're saying. You think
I said they did the best job that they could because wildfires are uncontrollable and unpredictable. I would classify it as they did the best job that they could. I don't know why you want me to keep repeating myself.
Well, because you're not really answering. I mean, will you just answer if you think they did a good job?
They did if I was grading them, I would say they probably did like a B-.
Oh, fuck. All right, man. Look, okay. I mean, we didn't have to get stuck so long on that. It really wasn't the intent.
Maybe next time don't make shit up and we won't.
I wasn't making anything up other than
you actively made things up,
man.
You actively lied.
Dude, I did not make. I said they should fucking focus on having like.
Nope, you said they reappropriated funds, which they did not do.
That's not
you actively made something up. Yes, you did. You said that they were spending money on DEI and they weren't spending money on emergency services, which is untrue. You made something up.
You're fucking dishonest, man.
I'll replay the tape. John, if I have to replay the tape, you will owe me a waste my time tax. You owe me $25. Do you want me to replay the tape? Because I'll replay it. Where you specifically said they were taking the DEI money when they should have been focusing somewhere else. Should I replay the tape?
I don't think that's exactly the way I worded it. But
you want me to replay the tape?
Look, I'll listen to it later. It'd be a waste of time. What am I at on my time here? I don't even know where I am.
You have 4 minutes.
4 minutes. All right. Well, let me go on to a few other things. So some other solutions I would say is that the homeless problem could be addressed by bringing back the mental hospitals, right? Which we could actually blame Reagan in a large part for that. I would also say the conservatives secured the border. Democrats had open borders. Protesting, I believe in the right to protest, but when the left protests, oftentimes, like we saw during BLM, it turns into rioting. So my solution to that would be, I believe in the First Amendment, but people should protest at a lake or a park so to avoid rioting and chaos and looting like we see so often with the left. So
yeah, great. What percentage of the homeless population has severe mental disorders?
Oh, if I was to guess, I'd say probably at least 70%.
So when it comes to severe mental illnesses, the type of things you would need to be institutionalized for, it is 7% to 14%.
Wait, you said what percentage of the homeless population has severe mental illness? Wasn't that your question?
Yes, it's 7% to 14%.
Oh, I would.
I don't say it. This is from a study done called 2/3 of unhoused people have mental health disorders. Now, if we're just talking blanket mental health disorders like depression, anxiety, things like that you're going to get towards 70%. That's at 67%.
Right.
But we don't institutionalize people for depression and anxiety. I'm talking about institutional. Oh, sorry, chat. I'm talking about like institutionalizing people. I'm going to quickly, real quick, John, I'm going to give you back like 20 seconds of time because I accidentally left if I leave the screen the timer is on, it like cooks, it like stops the timer. So I'm going to give us both like an extra, I'll give us both like an extra 30 seconds.
All right. Yeah, but see, the problem with, the homeless issue is part of the left and their pathological altruism.
What does that even mean?
We have to have, it means that we could say toxic empathy, or you could say moral confusion, like Sam Harris says, or Gad Saad would say suicidal empathy. That just you think that it's something similar with an open border, that sometimes empathy becomes a problem.
John, what's the number one
anyone,
reason for homelessness in the U.S.?
I would think mental illness.
No. It's housing affordability
Affordable
mixed
housing?
with job loss.
Okay. That was my second guess, yeah.
So when the cost of income or the cost of living goes up and the job growth goes down, we see a larger fund of unhoused people. How's our jobs market doing right now?
Yeah, economy's pretty bad.
Yeah. Do you think it doesn't help that we have like really bad job growth under Trump right now?
Yeah, I mean, man, we're kind of in this downward spiral for 40 years. We just keep adding money to our national debt, which causes inflation.
Yeah, do you think it might hurt that, like, when we want to talk about like adding money to the debt, that Trump's deficit numbers are skyrocketing right now as well? I mean, fiscal year 2025, the deficit, we ran 1.79 trillion. We're on track to run 1.9 trillion this year.
The way I calculated it, I want to say that these are just kind of estimates, but basically since about 1980, so we'll say about the last 46 years, Democrats have had power for about 20 of those years, right? So it would have been into Clinton's credit, he actually balanced the budget. So Clinton balanced the budget. Obama added about 10 trillion. Biden added about 7 trillion.
How much did Trump add?
17 of the 40 trillion is Democrat. Trump has added probably about 8, and he'll probably end up adding probably another 2 or 3.
Yeah, so we recognize, well, one, Trump added, like, if we're gonna just talk about like Biden, Trump, whatever, Trump added about 7.8, Biden added about 8.5. This is like COVID spending tacked onto that. I don't like counting COVID spending. I think it doesn't get us to like the meat of the actual issue. I think I'd want to talk about non-COVID spending, right? Because non-COVID spending is going to be what's most important. Obviously, we're going to add to the debt when we're trying to recover from COVID, right?
Yeah, I mean, just my only point is both Democrats and Republicans, they both done it.
I don't deny that both parties add to the debt. Barack Obama added to the debt because he was coming off of a recession. So you have to spend money to get yourself out of a recession, such as keeping certain industries alive. Joe Biden spent money because he was coming out of a recession, which was a COVID recession. Donald Trump spends money because he cuts tax revenue and he doesn't increase, he doesn't cut his spending in coincide with that. He just overspends.
Yeah, I mean, Obama had the housing crisis in 2008. Bush 43 had 9/11. Trump had COVID. Biden had COVID. I mean, but the point is we keep on going further into debt. That's why we have this problem of inflation. So we're kind of and no politician will try and stop it because they have to get elected. You either have to raise taxes or cut spending or both. And the debt's so far out there, it's
Donald Trump did neither. He cut taxes and then he raised spending.
Yeah, that's kind of Republicans are cut taxes and spend, and then Democrats are raise taxes and spend. So, but this is why a lot the democracies ultimately have problems at some point. But we have about 750 military bases around the world, and our military is what keeps the petrodollar running. It's what keeps our dollars, the world's reserve currency. That's why we have to maintain it. That's why we have to contain China. Otherwise,
right. I'm trying to get some understanding here, John. right? I'm just trying to get some understanding here. You agree that Republicans tend to cut taxes and continue to spend, but then you claim that the Democrats are ruining things like the economy.
I said both parties. I'm not going to say that I mean, Republicans are, tougher on crime. And look, you're probably of like the DSA mindset. You want to abolish prisons. You want to abolish the police. Look, I'd actually be willing to have that conversation with you. I'm not totally against it. I don't really like prisons, to be honest with you. But we have to have law and order. So if you want to replace the police, I would say with some sort of kind of like an Old West model where you have a sheriff, but largely people resolve their own disputes. But we have to have safety as the number one priority. We have to have law and order, and that would be my fear of if the DSA gets good. When you just say abolish the police, abolish prisons, well, we can't have lawlessness. Would you agree?
We can't have lawlessness.
So I'm in favor of other types of punishment. It's the one thing I agree with Sharia law on.
Huh?
I would be okay with other types of punishment other than prisons.
Why should we punish people at all?
You don't think people should be punished if they commit crimes?
What does punishment accomplish?
Well, it would be a deterrent for one thing.
If that was the case, we wouldn't have a risk. If
If
that was the case, crime would never go up, but it does.
Well, we have a bit of a problem. You might disagree with these numbers, but basically, I think about 2% of criminals commit about 90% of the crimes, right? So we have a problem, and this is actually why I'm a favor of the. I believe in the death penalty, in some not for crimes that are, really bad. Do you not?
Wait. I just want to. Did you say 2% of the criminals commit 90% of crime?
Yeah.
This is foundationally untrue.
Well, maybe I should. Is it? Yeah. I mean, it's a
100% of criminals
number.
would commit 100% of crimes.
Yeah, just a very small percentage. What I'm trying to say is a very small percentage of the population commits most of the crimes. Do you think that's true?
So I think it's like 18% of the population commits all the crime.
Yeah, that's probably. But yeah, just the amount of crimes and the worst crimes are committed by probably about 2%. Don't you think?
I think the worst.
Right?
I think the worst crimes are committed by the extremely wealthy, and that's like less than 1% of people.
Well, we have a problem with sociopathy and psychopathy. So probably what you're talking about is, are you talking about like white collar crime? Is that what you mean when you say like the wealthy, or are you
talking about
like
things like wage theft, things like sex trafficking? These are all done by wealthy people. Poor people don't do these things because they can't afford to do these things. Large sex trafficking rings are run by rich people, not poor people.
There's probably some truth to that. But things like people who are
John, you have 15 seconds, by the way.
All right. No, I think I laid it out there pretty clear. So I can just leave it at that. But I think the left is subverting Western civilization would be my final statement.
Yeah, a statement that you've got no way to back up. But okay, John. Just saying a bunch of shit that we're wrong about in the first place. All right, buddy. Chat, what did you think of the timer? What did we think? I don't think the timer does anything except illustrate that I don't talk over people and that people are given adequate time on the show. You know? I think the timer needs to be saved for like problem callers. Um, do I want to see Dune 3 or Doomsday? Always Doomsday. Doomsday looks solid. All right, let's take our next call. All right, coming up to stream, we have Sean. Sean is calling from Florida to talk about topic number 1, trans men and women being men and women. Sean, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
Hey, what's up? I am 20 and I go by he, him.
Okay. Now, Sean, you elected to have the timer as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Frankly, it's up to you. If you're not liking it, you can remove it. I don't have a strong
We'll see how I
preference.
feel at the end of the timer. Sean, I believe trans men and women are men and women. Do you disagree? And if so, why?
Yeah, I would say that I do disagree. But I think most of my disagreements are for personal kind of subjective reasons. I think a lot of the time this debate devolves into semantics that boil down to like you're going to call them a woman, I'm not going to. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. So I'm really more concerned with how you feel about the practical implications, like the things that really matter. So when you say that trans men and women are men and women, do you believe that they should be allowed in spaces typically restricted to that biological sex, i.e. bathrooms and sports?
Yep.
Okay, so I would disagree with that pretty heavily for the simple reason that it is a breach of a person's privacy to have a space that is supposed to be restricted for their gender and have that invaded by someone of the opposite gender. I don't want women.
You don't have an expectation of privacy even in the restrooms, like in public. There's no like expectation that that place is going to be off limits to the other gender, or at least no legal one. So I don't know how it can be like a violation of some like intrinsic right to that.
Yeah, so I would disagree. I would say that you do have an intrinsic right to privacy during those times, the same way that you have the same reason that you have rights to like not be exposed to, say, public indecency. Maybe that's not directly harming you in any way, but it makes a person deeply uncomfortable
Yeah, how would you
and I think
justify this intrinsic right to be in the space separate of somebody you believe is of the opposite sex or gender? And how do you police this?
Yes, I mean, I would say I would turn back to public indecency, and that we justify that. Frankly, it's a purely emotional justification. There's nothing objectively wrong. If I see a dude streaking in the park, it's not going to, hurt me. But I would say it would make the majority of people very uncomfortable, and I would say the same thing about this, and so I would use the same reasoning.
So then should we be able to ban people out of spaces because they make somebody else uncomfortable?
In certain situations, yeah. I think if it's a reasonable
Square the circle.
discomfort.
Why specifically is this a reasonable discomfort versus others?
That's a great question. Frankly, I think it depends on the majority opinion, because this is a very subjective issue. And I don't know if there has been research done on this, but I know at least the majority of people that I know would be made deeply uncomfortable by this. And
so if the majority of
again,
people, for instance, were like, well, we're on white is the majority race in the United States. So if the majority of white people said we're uncomfortable with black people in our restrooms, you would now say that this is valid and that they should be able to implement this on like a policy level.
No, of course not. Because
so then it's not
there's
about the majority.
Absolutely no backing for that. But I would say that there is backing for not wanting.
What's the backing specifically for not wanting trans women in the bathrooms? Specifically.
Yeah, so I mean, there's obviously the state of vulnerability that you're in when you're in a restroom, right?
You're in a state of vulnerability when anybody's in the bathroom. So I'm asking to be specific here. What is the fear that you're saying is the thing we need to legislate out when it comes to trans women in the bathroom?
Okay. The thing that we need to legislate out about trans women being in the bathroom is, like, women have a legitimate fear, right, of having a man in their bathroom, because
based on
I mean, obviously there is the threat of, sexual assault, which I understand is not that common of an occurrence.
What's the rate of sexual assault that happens from trans women in bathrooms against cis women?
I'm not sure precisely.
Shouldn't we know that number if we're saying that it's a real fear that's based on like concrete real things?
I don't know the exact statistic. I think that opening the door for it to happen, regardless of the rates, is bad. The same reason you wouldn't leave your child alone in a room with a stranger.
Wait. If the claim is that they have a legitimate fear, that legitimate fear should be backed by some type of evidence, right? Otherwise, how can that fear be considered legitimate?
Okay, sure. So I'm sure that you have the number somewhere.
If I have the number of cisgender women that are victimized by trans women in the bathrooms.
Yeah, shoot.
Yeah, we don't. It's so low we don't even have a number for it.
Okay, and can you give me the source for that?
Williams Institute.
Okay, so now what we get into is something that, again, is why I don't like this debate, because it is incredibly subjective.
You brought this. You specifically brought up this topic.
I know, and what I would say is that there is an inherent right that you have to have privacy in restrooms. I would say that most people agree with that. I would say that any inherent rights are subjective under a secular worldview.
If I'm a cisgender woman who let's play a little brain game for a second. Pretend I'm a cisgender woman. I was born a cisgender woman. My name is Bonisha.
Got it.
I habitually rape other cisgender women.
Right.
Am I allowed in the bathroom?
I think if you're caught, then you should be locked away somewhere that you're not going to be able to do that.
So there's no, but how? So I, who does habitually rape, have more rights into this space than a group that doesn't.
I wouldn't say so. I would say that you don't have that right, because if the law were aware of that, you would be, in my opinion, locked up for an extremely long time.
What if I was locked up and I'm out? I'm out of being locked up. I did my time.
Then I honestly wouldn't be against having some kind of a safeguard against them being in public restrooms or something of the sort. I mean, it would be difficult
Because
to impose.
what's the actual issue that people are afraid of? It's a fear of assault. Now, if your fear of assault is not backed by any evidence that you will be assaulted, right? So, for instance, trans women, again, like I said, this from the Williams Institute found specifically that there was no statistically significant evidence to point to jurisdictions adopting any sort of gender identity inclusive bathroom accommodations, right? So if we are seeing that there's no evidence of cis women being assaulted by trans women, if we see that that threat is not there, what they're actually afraid of is cisgender men who will pretend to be women to come into their space. But newsflash, cisgender men don't pretend to be women to come into the space. They'll just go in the space if they want to cause harm. They don't need to put on a dress and makeup to do this. Now, if they are just uncomfortable in a bathroom with trans women, that's on them. You being uncomfortable in a public space because of somebody else, you are the person that has to take the affirmative action to remove yourself from that uncomfortable situation. So you should go in the family room or into into a private bathroom somewhere. But you can't now dictate, because of your level of uncomfort, what bathroom the other person uses to go pee or poop.
Sure. So by that logic, and, just to test this position, like, if you use the same logic for something like public indecency, if someone's just walking around butt naked, anyone who's made uncomfortable by that, it's completely their fault. And it's not the person. Two
things. One, I think we should not have public indecency laws.
I
think they're just based around like puritanical culture. And I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with somebody being naked. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong about this. There are kids, there are families that go to nude beaches, right? As long as the body's not being sexualized or being targeted at you in any sort of way, then yeah, I don't have an issue. If I'm like, what is indecency? A woman can't have her shirt off, but a man can, even if the man's got boobs bigger than hers. Like, right? Public indecency laws are just kind of silly.
Okay. So I'm glad that you're being logically consistent with that. I can respect that. From there, I would say that there's just a fundamental moral difference here that isn't really reconcilable with whether or not, like, certain things are okay. And I can't give any foundational, like, objective backing for a moral difference, because from a secular worldview, morals are subjective entirely. I mean, in which case all laws are, in a sense, subjective, and just what we all agree is okay.
But we don't even need to talk subjectively. We can just talk in practicality.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, like, from a purely subjective standpoint, without any objective basis for morals, like, you could talk about things like slavery. Like, we know that those are atrocities, but there's not evidence. Like, you cannot give an objective backing for why that's wrong. You can't give an objective backing for why murder is wrong.
Okay.
It's because it hurts someone. If it hurts someone, why is that
again,
wrong?
let's just talk in practicality. I'm going to walk you through another thought experiment. Forget Bonicia. Sure. Bonicia has suffered tragic loss. Imagine there's a public restroom.
I'm mad about it.
And there's a woman who enters that restroom. Let's give her any name you want. It can be any name.
Okay.
What is it?
Samantha.
Great. Samantha enters a bathroom. There are 4 women, woman A, B, C, and D. Woman A is a cisgender woman who has no history of violence. Woman B is a transgender woman who has no history of violence. Woman C is a cisgender woman who's previously been convicted of sexual assault. And woman D is a cisgendered lesbian woman who is sexually attracted to women but has never assaulted anyone in their life.
Right.
Which of these 4 people should Sarah be worried about?
Be worried about as in feel in danger of assault or simply
Have
feel
a
as if
have
their
a
privacy
fear have a fear of
invaded.
assault. It's not a privacy concern
The,
because the bathrooms have stalls.
the third
Have great. So it is woman C. I agree with you. Now, let's say the government comes out and they says, we want to protect Sarah. So woman B is now prohibited from entering the restroom. We're getting woman B, you can't go in. Only women's A, C, and D can go in. What safety issue did this rule solve?
See, I think we've moved past the safety
Did I say
issue
Sarah? I
because
think
that's
we
never
said
been a
Samantha.
primary concern for me.
But it is
Like all
because
I'm
again,
conceding that the point most people make about the threat of assault is bad and wrong.
so you're saying the only
And-
issue is a privacy concern. Then I throw that out the window because you have privacy in a
right,
stall.
which is
You
why
don't have privacy
we come
outside of the
back
stall.
We come back to the fundamental difference of things like indecent exposure that you don't even believe is incorrect. So you could take it from bathrooms to something like locker rooms, and then you'd even be comfortable with that because exposure is not an issue, right?
Correct.
If they're openly getting dressed in front of you, that's not an issue with you.
Yeah, if
And
you
so
don't want
I
to
don't
see
think
somebody who's naked, and you're in a space where naked people might be, the onus is on you, the person who doesn't want to see somebody naked.
Well, I mean, I think there are plenty of women, right, who are comfortable with seeing other women naked in a locker room. But if a man comes in there, you know, or a trans woman, quote unquote, then it would make them
Not
pretty
quote
deeply
unquote.
uncomfortable to see.
It's on if
you know,
you have an
this
issue
woman with his
with
cock out.
if you have the issue with trans women in the space, it's and you know this is a space where trans women may go, the onus is on you.
All right, so then the problem becomes that a lot of people are going to be having this problem and not feel comfortable using this public space because of a vast minority of mentally ill people.
Do you think there were a
using the
lot of
space.
people? Do you think okay, so one, you don't want to go down the mentally ill route. You're going to be mocked out of here. There is no linking between gender incongruence and any known mental illness. There is no linking that suggests that gender incongruence is caused by mental illness. You know this, and I know this, and if you want the evidence, I can provide it for you, but you have no evidence to back that claim up. So it's a dumb claim to make. I wouldn't make it. Two, again, we can go right back to if the majority of white people were uncomfortable when desegregation laws were passed, should we have kept those segregation laws intact? The answer is no. I don't care if a majority of people are uncomfortable about something. That doesn't make it right or wrong. If we're talking about what is right in this situation, what we should be doing, we should be making inclusive spaces for people who are not threats to be able to go to the bathroom in peace. And what we know from the data is trans women actually face a higher propensity of assault from cisgender males. So they are actually more in fear of using the men's room and being assaulted than they are of using the women's room. And we can also talk about the fact how we've already seen through multiple instances how these policies and these positions end up hurting cisgender women who are targeted in the bathroom because they don't meet some acceptable level to whoever the person is going after them's idea of femininity. These just fail at every point.
Sure. So here's the thing is what I'm seeing now is that my perspective on this and there being an inherent backing for men and women being separated in certain spaces, right, as opposed to something like having races separated in different spaces, is based on probably what's a fundamental difference in belief of like the importance of gender as compared to race, which I think is inconsequential and not something that you should base anything off of.
If the overarching issue is comfort, then these two things map onto each other completely, right? If it's comfort, then it's just about what the largest group feels comfortable with. You can replace black with anything. It could be people who have short hair, who don't like people with long hair and are uncomfortable. It can be nationality. It can be ethnicity. It can be eye color. Because you made the issue about comfort, and whatever the majority feels comfort-wise should be what we go with, when that is just an incoherent way to logically plan out a system.
And sure, I'll even say, right, and a lot of conservatives would disagree with me on this, I would even say that there's not a great, purely secular argument for this. And, you know, the line that you've drawn there, right, for comfort can be applied to anything. Actually, I have to agree with that at this point. But the problem is the point that I would then think of to, like, combat why there is valid reasoning for men and women being separated in certain spaces is difficult to argue from a purely secular worldview. So I don't know if this is, like, I don't know how your channel operates, but to move to the point about Christianity being false, I think is something I can argue a lot better, because or at least haven't done enough research to have at this moment, because you do this for a living and I don't, a secular, purely secular backing for the transgender men and women point. I'll admit that. I'll concede that, if you will.
There's not even a non-secular backing for that.
We can't really get into that because we have entirely different views outside of the purely natural. And there's just not even a foundation to have common ground on from that.
Yeah, I don't know what religion you are, but if it's Christian, there's no non-secular argument for trans men and women that can be found anywhere in a Christian theological expanse. In fact, Christianity kind of affirms that gender kind of doesn't matter. And that actually...
I would agree with that pretty heavily. I mean, that's a fun one we can argue. I'll take this one.
There is neither male nor female, right?
Why you believe that?
Because there's neither male nor female. Because in the kingdom of heaven, there is neither male nor female. God doesn't give a shit what we are once we die. He doesn't give two damns.
I love that point because it is a great scripture that I love, and it's also taken out of context a lot. Because the Bible does talk a lot in different places about men and women having different roles. Okay.
None of what I said contradicted that. What I said was, when we die and go to heaven, in the eyes of God, none of that matters. He doesn't give a shit about our roles. Because there is neither male nor female. So why should I care about engaging in male and female roles here on earth if those are going to wash away anyway by the time I get to the kingdom of heaven? I don't give two damns.
Because the Bible says that you should. The Bible also tells you to do lots of things here that you're not going to do in heaven, right?
The Bible tells me I can sell my daughter into slavery. Like, doesn't mean that I'm going to follow it.
We can get into that, and we can get into the context of that for the time. But if we're talking, you're saying that there is no biblical argument, right? Just assuming that we're following the Bible, like there's no biblical argument against transgenderism, and I'm saying that is
the Bible never once. The Bible never once makes an argument against people who identify as women who might have been born male. It makes no claim morally that this is a bad thing.
Right, but the Bible doesn't directly claim a lot of things, and you have to use your brain a little bit and infer from what the Bible does say whether something is okay.
You're overtime, Sean. You've now hit the overtime. Unfortunately, for every minute you go overtime, I will charge you $5.
You will charge me $5 for every minute I go overtime.
Yep. Them's the clock rules.
Okay. We could get into that, but we won't. I'd love to hear you talk about it with someone else because you're going to hit a brick wall with that one. But enjoy whoever's up next then, I guess.
Thanks for calling, Sean.
No worries.
I think that's what I'll do. Overtime, I'll just charge you. Get charged. If you choose this route and you want to go overtime, you get charged. Again, who do these people think I overtalk? I love that they're like, I can't call Jovan, he overtalks and mutes. Sean used up his time before I did. I don't know that the timer is going to be a persistent feature. I'm not 100% with it. Oh, we got a raid. Yo, Monty, thanks for the raid, friend. Oh, need my bingo checked? Oh, shit. You weren't the first person, so I have to check the first. Oh, Mods already did. Mods checked them already. Oh no, these just auto checked. Sorry, those were just auto checks. Trust me, bro. I'm gonna say we didn't get a trust me, bro, because I asked. I don't think we got a trust me, bro. What do you, Mods? What do you think on trust me, bro? This is Citri's board. I'm checking Citri's board. I don't know that we gotta trust me, bro. Yeah, whataboutism? In the sense that but even then I didn't do a whataboutism because it wasn't to highlight, it was just to highlight an inconsistency. Pronoun crash out. I'll give you pronoun crash out. But yeah, no, we didn't get whataboutism or trust me, bro. Sorry, friend. Rubertopolis. Jovan is muted. Yup. First caller muted. Did I have the first caller muted? No, but you did mute them. Yeah, no, they first caller muted means that. Oh, I hit overtime. First caller muted means that, like specifically that they are muted when I pick up. Like I didn't unmute them in my system. Caller has sources. I'll give you caller has sources. Pivot, I'll give you. Refuse pronouns, I'll give you. But Jovan is muted, I'll give you. But first caller muted, I won't give you that one. You definitely. Def got whataboutism. Who did we get a whataboutism for? Whataboutism for? Were any repeat callers? Yeah, Brian was a repeat caller. Austin probably was too. I just couldn't tell. Oh. Kulo finished their board. Caller has sources. Yeah, I'll give you that. It was a terrible source, but it was a source. Caller cries in chat. Yep. Caller refused pronouns. Yep. Pivot. Yep. Calls Jovan a lib or a dem. You're talking about John, right? Did John specifically call me a liberal or a Democrat? I don't think he did. I think he was arguing against liberals and Dems, but I don't think he specifically called me one. Brian called you a liberal. Brian called me a liberal? Really? What do we think, Mods? John did call me DSA. John called me DSA specifically. He said, you liberals. Okay, chat, if you're telling me, I'll give it to you. Kulo in Finland, you won bingo today. Congratulations. Sorry, EP Punk, but Kulo had theirs in before you did. Congratulations. You won today's bingo. John was a repeat. He's the race realist who called you uppity. Wait, I thought that was John from Arizona. Was it John from Arizona I was talking to? Oh, shit, chat. I didn't realize I was talking to that motherfucker. Okay, let me go put a note in there that that's who that is. John, the caller who called Jovan uppity, hella racist. I need to add that my system needs to start showing me the notes that we add to calls. It's noted on his first call. Yeah, but it's not showing me that. Okay. I gave myself that note to go in and do that. Horse destroyed him on Scap Talk last night. I mean, I destroyed him here. Winnie, we already have that. It just doesn't show us on our side. Like, Call in Studio is not going to show that. But we already have all of that. It's literally in... If you go to... is it Tools? And you go to Caller History, we have exactly the thing you're asking about. Keeps their name. They like we have that exactly. All right, guys. Tonight we will be doing. Wait a minute. Tonight we will be live with Jimmy. We're supposed to be live for the podcast at 5. So we'll see if that ends up happening. And then I'm supposed to be live with Ari at 9:30, but I might ask Jimmy to take that because I'm starting to get a fucking mean migraine. And I don't know that I'll survive until 9:30. But either way, you've got 2 more chances to see me tonight. Go linepod.app if you're one of the Lines Patreon members so that you guys can watch the podcast. You know that podcast? You know the podcast. Right? Right. Other than that, I think that's like kind of it for today. Did anybody else have any final... Oops. Anybody else have any final anything for me? No? No final nothing? Well, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. I'm pretty tired. So I'll see y'all later. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna try out the new credits and see how they work. Let's see. Let's see if these work the way I want them to. Nothing's happening. Credits. Hello? There they go. Hey, they work. Yo, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for following. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the show. These are all the super chatters today. Thank y'all for super chatting. These only show up on Twitch. I haven't gotten these yet on YouTube, but I'll have them by next show. Raids, Monida, thank you for the raids. Chucky, thank you for the bits. Let's give a shout out to new YouTube members. We had Radiohead. Radiohead, shout out to you for being a new YouTube member. Our new and renewed Twitch subs, Shannon Anonymously, Rubertopolis, The Incredible Gulk, Ice Freak, Damish Gaming, B-Spur, DSA Gene, Amadeus Maxwell, Lamont Bond, Princess Cezagio, and Babs. Thank you guys for being new or returning subs. Thanks to our team. We had our moderators here, Aki, Pillow, Winnie, Yoshi. And thank you, Pillow, for screening today. Well, I don't think Pillow screened. It's still Pillow in that. It was Yoshi and Winnie who screened. So thank you, Yoshi and Winnie. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see y'all later. Bye. Wait, I have to get rid of this part now. What I don't need on this anymore is the credits. I just want it to switch to this for a little bit. Yeah. And then it'll just stay like this, and then it'll eventually fade out. Yeah.